Now, I'm frequently asked if you can use one property to run a HMO and a serviced accommodation at the same time. So let's say, for example, you've got a 5-bedroom HMO and you're renting 3 rooms upstairs on a long-term basis, and you use the 2 rooms downstairs for nightly bookings. Now, I personally don't recommend this, and these are my reasons why. Now, if you have tenants in a property that are living there, for example, on a 6-month AST, and they come and they go and other tenants come, there's likely to be wear and tear in the communal areas, which will be the living room, the kitchen, and the bathroom. They see the place as a home. So, for example, if someone's running late for work and they leave the sink full of dishes, they're thinking, when I come back home, I'm going to get it done. And on the same night, you have a booking from your serviced accommodation for the room downstairs. Now, when they come in the property, it's not going to be a good sight. They're seeing dishes in the sink, they're seeing the floor not mopped properly, and this is not how serviced accommodation is run. If this happens regularly, you're at a risk of being left bad reviews on Airbnb and Booking.com, which is what you need to get regular bookings. You also need to consider your AST tenants, as they're most likely not going to be comfortable with different people walking in and out of the property every other night. I would definitely recommend using these 2 strategies separately. My best property deal so far. Now, this will be a time where I picked up 6 renter HMOs at the same time. So I was reading a local newspaper and I read how the police had shut down 6 properties because a company that was letting those properties were carrying out illegal activities. So I thought to myself, this is 6 potential landlords who had probably signed a 12-month AST and thought that their rent was guaranteed for the next 12 months, and is no longer the case. So again, the aim is to offer a win-win solution. So I am bringing to them an opportunity that secures them that income for the duration of their tenancy and much longer. Now, what I did here was a little bit of research. So I did a land registry search, just trying to dig up some information on who owns which property. Now, 4 of those 6 properties was owned by one person and the other 2 was owned by another person. So it was pretty straightforward. So I'm in contact with just 2 people. Now, I managed to get in contact with them and we spoke for a period of time. Of course, they were a bit skeptical, especially what's just happened to them. And I assured them of what we do. Obviously, they checked out the company and saw that everything was legitimate, and we managed to strike a deal, and I was able to get 6 deals all in one go by offering a win-win solution. Now, these 6 properties bring a net cash flow of over £4,000 per calendar month to our renter HMO portfolio. But before all the excitement, due diligence needs to be done. Now, once I knew that the property was tampered with for the use of illegal activities, the first thing that came to my mind was the wiring of the property tampered with. One of the properties actually required a full rewire, and the second also required a partial rewire. The others were fine to go, but bear in mind, if you take on a property like this, whether to purchase or on a renter HMO, ensure things are done properly, ensure you have an electrician come in to check that the electrics are all good and you have all the necessary certificates in place. Now, owning and controlling a HMO portfolio can be demanding, as you frequently get tenants moving out, which can leave 1 or multiple rooms empty at the same time. Unlike a single let now, where you would get a family living in a property for 3 years or even longer, with a HMO you've got to do a bit more work. Now, yes, you can market it on Spare Room, market on Facebook Market all your empty units, but you've got to do a lot more than this to keep your properties at full occupancy all at the same time. Now, a few of the ways that we keep our HMO units at full occupancy most of the time is by utilizing what's in our investment patch. Now, we have a local university, we have a local airport, and we also have a hospital. Now, we try to get in contact with people within these organizations to build a business relationship. The local university has a large recruitment of international students. So we get in contact with the representatives of the students from the different countries. So before they come in and upon their arrival, their accommodation is already arranged. Now this gives us access to hundreds of students from different countries. And the great thing about it is that most of them pay their rent annually. Having a local airport. Now this means that there are hundreds of cabin crew members and airport staff looking for high quality house shares. Now we managed to find a contact person who gives out our company details to cabin crew members and airport staff looking for accommodation. Having a local hospital is a big opportunity as you have hundreds of hospital staff potentially looking for accommodation. Now bear in mind, it's not just as easy as just finding a tenant and putting them in a room. You need to provide a quality service to ensure these opportunities keep coming your way.